Justin May from the Dixie Law Group. We know that you didn't volunteer to get in a car wreck the day that it happened. You didn't wake up in the morning and say, man, I can't wait to get in a car wreck today. You didn't volunteer to have back pain and all the other things that have happened to you. And we know that it can be extremely frustrating dealing with the medical bills, the property damage, and then the pain that comes from all of it. But here's the thing, doing nothing will only make it worse. And today I'm going to tell you a story about two clients, one that did something and one that didn't do anything. Let me tell you a story about Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith's a nice, honest guy who was on his way to work and got hit by somebody else. He got in a wreck. The wreck ended up hurting his shoulder, his back, and his neck. And he noticed it almost immediately after the wreck. But he thought to himself, I'm okay. I'm not that hurt. The wreck wasn't that bad. I'll be all right. I don't need to go to a hospital or a doctor. So he didn't. Instead, he continued living with pain every day until finally 6 months later, he decides, I can't take this anymore, and goes to a doctor. The doctor tells him, your shoulder, it's messed up. You're going to have surgery. Well, at that time, Mr. Smith decides, maybe I should make an insurance claim with the people that hit me. I didn't want to bother them before, but now this is serious. So he calls the insurance company and says, hey, I got hurt in this wreck. The insurance company says, we don't believe you because there's no medical proof. So Mr. Smith then tries to go through the process himself and fight with them and do everything that you do, but he ends up taking a lot less money and having a lot more problems. And he ends up with a lifetime of pain and issues and suffering that he didn't need to go through. Now, let me tell you a story about Mrs. Black, who's a nice, honest, hardworking mother who was in a wreck when she was going to pick up her kid from soccer practice. The wreck happens and she gets out of the car and she feels some back pain. Well, she thinks to herself, maybe I'm okay. I probably should get checked out. She goes and gets her kid home, and then says, man, my back really hurts. She ends up going to the hospital to get checked out. They find out she has a slip disc. At that point, she calls the insurance company and says, hey, I got some major issues from this. I have a slip disc, and also I need to get my car fixed. The insurance company says, okay, we'll pay you maybe half for what your car's worth. And we don't believe that your slip disc came from this wreck. It's a pre-existing condition. We're not buying any of that at all, even though they have no idea. At that point, she then calls us. Our team immediately goes to work. We get all the medical records. We get her prior medical records. We get everything together. We send it to the insurance company. And at that point, the insurance company all of a sudden believes that the wreck caused the injuries, and they end up settling, and we end up getting her lost wages, her medical bills, and everything taken care of. So a lot of times it isn't even about the money. It's about the anxiety and aggravation that comes from a wreck. And we alleviated that for Mrs. Black, and we got her a settlement at the end of the day. So the moral of the story is, go to the doctor and get checked out after a wreck. It is the number one thing you can do to help yourself and your case. And the second thing is, an insurance company knows that you can't do a lot about anything. They know that they're sitting in a better position than you are as far as negotiating. So they're not going to do everything they can do to help you. So that's why you need to call someone that has legal expertise and understands how to get an insurance company to do what we need them to do to get yourself taken care of. And we offer a free consultation here at the office, and our team will talk to you about your case and get everything figured out. And while that call won't cost you anything, it could cost you everything to not give us a call today.